Hello, welcome to my stream. We have started a bit early today, and there's a reason for that. As you can probably tell by my voice, I have a cold coming. So I'm hoping I can survive the entire stream, but I might have to leave a bit early depending on how bad this gets. It's okay at the moment, it's manageable at the moment. Hopefully, because I'm on top of it, I can get rid of it faster, but we'll see. So please excuse me if you hear the sniffles and everything. It's like I'll try and make it less disgusting than it sounds and everything, but we'll see. And I really want to carry on playing the game because we are so close to the end of this game now that I can just taste the ending. So we've got to carry on and everything. I'm dying to play Lost Judgment, but I need to finish this game first because the game is beautiful. So that's what the goal is. There is going to be a stream tomorrow. I wasn't sure if there was going to be one because I have a new bed being delivered tomorrow. But it's not going to be delivered till way later in the evening now, so fine. So the stream will be as normal tomorrow, and so on and so on. So that's less talking of me, and then my excuses. Oh, before we start, if you are a Twitch user, please change your passwords and everything because if you haven't heard already, Twitch was hacked on Wednesday and there's been a leak and stuff. So for security reasons, please change your passwords. You should have already done it by now because you've been streaming or watching or using Twitch by now. You should have known what's going on. At this point, you probably know better than I do. But just just to be safe, if you're not aware, please do so. You should be putting the 2-point notifications on, with your phones and everything and whatnot. But that's up to you, your choice. But better safe than sorry and everything. And other than that, I'm not going to discuss anything else that's happened and all the leaks and stuff because, to be honest, I'm really not interested. Obviously, I'm interested in of security stuff, but all the ups and downs, but whatever. But anyway, that's not what we're here for. We're here to play games, so let's go and play games, and let's jump straight into Tales, shall we? And again, I do apologise if you hear me sniffling
Something feels odd here. Be on your guard.
Listen, say, remember, right, we got a new... Oh god, what's the Sovereign? That was it. I had to try and remember what it was. Sovereign and Maiden costumes on Wednesday, and my new sword as well, which looks badass. But we also saved it right here, ready for the boss fight. Boss fight, boss fight, boss fight. Sound like a Pokemon? Boss fight.
Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more,
He's a chanting, isn't he?
Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the true sovereign.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Woman in red?
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
That means the woman in red is here.
That this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
Okay.
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy.
No, we cannot.
That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time,
Yep.
Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red
Hello,
Woman.
maiden.
So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They're everywhere.
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
She's not human. Okay. Wasn't expecting that.
What is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't be. Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Elfin. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting just here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand.
Let's just fight out.
I'll heal you all.
Ow, 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 ow.
I can carve through armor. Gale Force. Raise the
Sorry,
Gale. You do the same for me. A chain between heaven and earth.
Dragon Form!
A wailing banshee
In a bind!
Burn to the ground!
Where are you
Heal
going?
my weary companion!
Dragon Form!
Shining supernova. Lightning. Dance to the wheel. Air sighted. Into the shadow.
Shield!
You may be
Ouch!
but I'll never back.
Ouch!
Chain between heaven and earth.
You're mine!
A wailing banshee of lightning. In here. Shatter your dreams. Burning strike.
Burn!
Dragon Form!
Heal my weary companion!
Ow! Ow! Oh, I got healed.
Coming through! Ha! Now!
See, I'm still doing the other one!
Inferno!
Damn it!
I'll heal you with the doctor order.
You're mine! I'm not done!
Healing circle. This wall.
Here I come!
My reach is even wider!
Pull myself together.
But these guys are quite tough.
Eternal devastation! Dragon Form!
I never miss.
Gun him down, Shinon! By the power of the maiden!
Dragon Form!
Damn it.
Can you take it?
Wow, everyone's getting away!
Some punishment?
You'll pay for that!
Go for me. Get back up, you please.
Heal my weary companion!
Attack time!
Is this it?
Oh, I got left. Waiting to use items, waiting to use items, waiting to use items. You swine. There you go, Shinon.
Down. Ready to go. A new lease on life.
Ouch! I got wrecked there.
My natural defenses are fading. I'm a sitting duck.
Retreat from this battle.
Retreat from this battle.
Retreat? I would never.
Shattering the pieces!
Attack time. Magic is there. No more playing nice. I'll heal you all. Morbid stockpile.
Someone gonna actually heal me, please. It'd be nice. I did request a heal.
I'm back into the fray. Your dreams. Just what I need.
It's time to finish this.
Yes, gun him down, Shinon.
Consuming wildfire. Glacial spear. Pierce evil.
Ouch! Ouch! I'm sorry. I won't ever step close to you again, I promise.
Heal my weary companion.
Right, need to bring our magic back up. By the power of Grayskull.
Can you take it? Armor
No.
won't save you.
Ah!
Not today. In a bind.
By the power of
Blow
water.
away.
Lightning. The flames will roar. Burn. Here goes.
Damn it.
Not in your dreams.
Heal, please.
I can handle it. Far enough.
One more.
Another incantation ruined. Forgive me.
I'll bring
This
you
is
back
my
from
fault.
death's abyss.
Oh, Shinon is about to get absolutely hammered if I don't heal her.
Imbue this vanquished soul with
Any
loving and armor is all mine.
Lightning. Down
Now you see what I can do. Sure.
Head into the wind. Air thrust. Into the light astral energy. Blah, blah, blah.
Blah blah blah.
One's mine. In here.
Ow! I dove straight into it like an idiot. Like an absolute idiot.
This is some punishment.
Oh, damn it, man. The teleporter says I pressed it. Oh, crap. I keep diving into that.
Lightning orb. Lightning condensed. Thunderbolt. Illuminate magic assam. Hear me. Flaming Larry.
Come on, get wrecked, you son of a bees.
I'm sorry.
Resonate with.
I can't lose. Resuscitation. I still got some fight left.
Heal my weary companion. Now or never.
I owe you.
Take this.
Purge Maleficent.
I can carve
Arcane
through armor.
Waterfall. House this. In here.
Get wrecked, you damn dirty thing.
Annihilation. Hear me. Flame of fury. Burn shield.
I have no idea what the hell you. Oh, crap.
Being interrupted. This is some punishment.
Sorry.
You picked the wrong fight.
Healing circle.
Over me, get up.
I'll bring you back from death's abyss.
From
Glacial
beyond.
sphere.
Meanwhile, get up, please. Thank you very much.
With light. I've used too much.
Nothing gets by me.
Right.
Healing horn.
This should do it.
First aid. Dance in the wind.
Ah! Oh, that was terrible. I literally spot.
Should do it.
I literally was in the wrong spot there.
Lightning condemned. I'll bring you back from death's abyss. Illuminate the dark.
Take this.
Resuscitation.
Eternal devastation.
If that's the case, then I can heal myself.
I'll heal you all.
Anything in armor is all mine. Armor won't save you.
It should be close to the end now.
Radiant light. Force of regeneration. Regeneration.
That's it. They're dead.
Lightning.
Get wrecked. Like I said, we just wasted a lot of stuff there.
Surrender. Fighting is useless now.
Do you think it's really over?
Nope. Not even close.
Astral energy. Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve.
Like I said, not even close.
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
I
Damn
knew.
it! He's awake! I should have thought as much. So you know this place? Naturally. It was built for me, after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing
Okay.
is how I'm going to tear you apart. Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me? You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Oh.
Really, is that what you think? Did you really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the
subject.
title of sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were logged 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Immolated.
Then you mean Boron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a...
A slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right, Volron?
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will
a
stand
dick.
above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
Can't let you do that, Starfox.
A red woman?
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Serenus Alva!
Okay.
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
Everyone, get to the ship! Oh no. Junon. You can do it. Jump. Even know how she's gonna jump in that dress and high heels, but go on. Oh damn! I missed the jump.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am...
Vengeance!
Are you two okay?
Yeah, we'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renis Alma. Damn it, that's the second time now!
Yep.
Whatever's stolen from us, we'll steal it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Yep.
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renis Alma in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
But we
Then
need
we're
to
agreed.
stock up
Let's
first.
head back to the starship.
We need to stock up and make sure we're ready
But
for this
seriously,
fight.
I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Can't believe we're almost at the end of this beautiful game.
I didn't see that coming about Volron. As for those red women, to think they were monsters all along.
Tell me about it. One minute they look perfectly human. Next thing you know, they're not actually human at all.
They definitely weren't Renan or Danan. I'm not even sure language would get through to them.
So what were they then? Human Zoogle hybrids?
Is the most terrifying thing anyone said all day?
What about you, Shion? Doraline? You ever seen anything like that before?
No, never. However, if they're the same as the Red Woman we've seen with Volron, I think it's safe for us to assume they understand our language at the very least.
I had just so much I wanted to ask them. About Rena and Shion's thorns.
Unfortunately, they blew themselves up before we got the chance. Why would they do such a thing, though? To take us with them? Or in order to keep something hidden?
Both sound
Hidden.
plausible to my ears. They took off with the Renis Alma too, remember?
Yeah, they did. And the next time we meet them, we're going to make sure they tell us everything they know.
Can we fast travel? It's one thing I haven't checked. Nope. Can't fast travel. Damn. Got that. Fast travel, you say? No such thing in this game anymore. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. I'm not liking that. There's a hearing item thing there. That normally means a boss fight. Boss fight, boss fight. Boss fight. Okay, so there is enemies here then.
I won't forgive you!
Bring him down!
Another
Ouch!
taking ruin.
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
The enemy wields arts too.
Burn, baby, burn!
Benediction light.
Glacial Spear, here's evil!
You're mine!
Leave the ensnaring to me.
Yeah! And
Art of being interrupted.
Coming through! Ha! Now!
I will eventually get that new one done.
Scarlet Inferno!
I swear it.
Take this!
I'm sorry to trouble you.
It's over! Dragon Swarm!
Get wet.
No escape! Eternal Devastation!
Seismic rupture.
Take this!
I'm ready. My exploits are bearing fruit.
My exploits are bearing fruit. No, you can start off. No, I didn't want to fight it. These guys take way too much time to fight.
As if the normal creepy crawlies aren't disgusting enough.
Come on, fighting these.
Get lost!
Take this! This one's all mine!
No further. Take this.
Ow!
Not
Your
today!
reflexes will not serve you well here.
I owe you one!
Denied!
Elusive deity.
I'm not done! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
in a bind?
Raining
Glacial
Slash!
Spear!
I'm
Here's
not
evil!
done!
Breath of life.
Be still!
My weary companion.
Here I come! Double Demon Fang! Raining Dust! No escape!
Spear! Here's evil! Free
Take this!
Elusive deity.
This is do it!
Rinwell!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Nice. No scratches on my shield or my armor.
Remember, what, there should be a hearing thing out here. Okay, what's happened?
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
He's told her.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing. So she really was being controlled.
Yep.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
Nope.
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know something I don't?
Yep, a lot.
Suffice it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegis from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it.
Go for me.
Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
I was gonna say, it's you.
Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
I was gonna say, it's you.
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Elda Menancia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid, as people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Just as I say it, the lights come on. Timed that well.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
Yep.
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
Mm-hmm.
You? You can't be serious.
I have
You can't be
business I must
serious.
take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegis till you get back.
Thank you.
Make it back, bro.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
No.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegis who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world.
Nice.
Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
First, we've got to solve this.
Looks like the people of Lenegis can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
What do you say we check back in on the ranch?
Well, let's get the weapons sorted first. Oh, I've run out of... Yeah, some money. Alright, let's stock up as much as we can.
Have you guys checked your...
equipment lately? Stocked up as much as we can.
In one sense, when all is said and done, perhaps I have been a slave this whole time too.
You, a Renan Lord? How do you figure that exactly?
I was complicit in the Renan system, bound by its values, resigned to being swept along, without the resolve to take a stand. And when I realized the severity of my mistake, all I longed for was punishment. A lord. And yet my first instinct was to place my fate in the hands of others.
I think I can relate. I couldn't stand watching my people bow and scrape their way through life, but I didn't know what else I could do about it either. The ability to think for yourself and be your own master, that's what separates a slave from a free person. At least, that's what Law's dad Zephyr used to say. Zephyr taught me how to fight. But in doing so, he also taught me how to live.
Even if it means stumbling along the way. If it's on a road of our own choosing, free of regret. Why, that's the road of freedom. Or, to put it another way, so long as his heart is compromised, even the loftiest of kings is no freer than a slave. I think I finally understand now. This Zephyr character sounds like he was a wise man indeed. I only wish I could have met him.
There's just so much I wish I could ask him, especially now. I wonder, have I been correctly carrying on the torch that he passed to me?
How long have you known?
Known what?
About the darkness I carry inside me. You seem to have been aware of it for quite some time now.
Why ask me now? What does it matter? But yes, I have. I've pretty much known that something was gnawing at you ever since we left Menancia.
So basically since the very start of our journey then. Just when I thought I couldn't feel more ashamed.
Leave the past where it belongs. We have no need for it now. You're forging ahead. That's what matters. If my brother
Wrapping
could
up all
see
the
you, he'd be
storyline.
proud.
You know, it's all being
Not
wrapped
as
up.
proud as he would be of his sister, I'm sure.
Well then, just as well it's not a competition, huh?
Wow.
Kisara? Anyone at home in there?
Sorry. Did I look distracted?
Among other things. To be entirely honest, I couldn't tell whether you were smiling or frowning.
You were thinking about Dohalim, weren't you?
Oh.
That obvious, huh? I was just thinking how good it is to see him moving forward at last. It was always so infuriating, knowing how capable he could be if he just put his mind to it. A prisoner trapped in a cage of his own self-doubt. But now, he's finally beginning to spread his wings. I'm happy for him.
So, then why do you look so sad?
Oh,
Guess
I
he's
don't know
gonna
if
lose
I'd
him.
say sad. There's a bittersweetness to it, I guess. It's good and strange, knowing that he won't be needing me anymore. It probably sounds weird, doesn't it? I have this massive worry off my mind. I should be jumping up and down for joy, right?
Must be that maternal instinct of yours at work.
Rinwell's right. You're like a mother bird, finally letting go as her child takes his first shaking and nervous flight from the nest.
A pretty big child.
That's one way to look at it. I wouldn't like to see Dohalim's face if he heard you say that. All this has made me realize I can't allow myself to become a prisoner of my own making like he was. If Dohalim can forge his own path ahead, then I can too. I won't be left behind.
Aww. Anxiety, so fast travel. Bill. Let's put fast travel in the game. Oh wait, you can't use fast travel. Okay, everything's back to normal now. Or is it this bit that's wrecked? I think it's this bit. Since it's this bit that's wrecked, isn't it? Yeah, I was gonna say. Back to the ship. Is the ship gone? I was gonna say, this is where the ship's gone. By the way, your only transport's gone.
I thought we'd find answers on Lenegis, but we just ended up finding more questions.
You can say that again. And now we have more problems to fix too. Like figuring out how to reform Lenegis.
That can wait for now. We've got more than enough on our plates to deal with as it is. Like figuring out who's really running the show on Rena.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is why we're going to the Renan homeworld.
All the answers we've been looking for are on that planet. The person responsible for all this. The Red Woman and the Renis Alma. The answers have to be there. Are we prepared to finally find them?
Yes.
So, what do we do first when we get there?
We know nothing about the Renan homeworld or what we might face once we arrive. We should get a feel for how things are on the ground before we take any serious steps.
It's also entirely possible that the first thing we're going to face is an attack.
If we come across a capital, we should... What?
You what the? Halt! I can't let you do that. I'm sorry, but you shall not pass. You will pass no further. You shall not pass. Damn it. Well, and that's the end of Tales of Arise. The end. Game over. You lose. Try again next year. Okay, so what have they done?
Damn! The hell just happened?
Our course has been altered. The coordinates are pointing to a different destination.
What's that?
And we mucked out.
The ship's controls aren't accepting my commands. The engine is being shut down.
That's bad, right?
No, it's good.
We've lost control of the ship.
Is all of this the Red Women's doing?
Are they trying to finish us off before we can land?
Everyone! Look there!
Okay. That Venegas. Dude, what? I'm getting Final Fantasy VII vibes here. Okay. No! I was gonna say, is it gonna destroy the... Okay. My flower. Have we gone into Gundam 00 now?
A flower blooming out of Rena?
But that flower looks like it's absorbing all of Dana's energy.
And it appears Lenegis is serving as a conduit for that energy to reach here. Could that have been its true purpose all along?
If that's true, do you think the people back on Lenegis are all right?
We can only pray that they are.
Damn it! Haven't they taken enough already? When is this going to end?
The Flower of Oblivion.
With everything that's happening, we need to get back to Lenegis. Is the ship still offline?
Unfortunately, yes. Even more so than when it lay dormant.
Can you fix it?
Starships are extremely complex machines. One wrong move while we're out here in space could very well cost us our lives.
So what? We're just stuck inside here, floating around? For how long?
10 years.
I don't believe this. We've made it all this way, and now we're stuck here? We're watching Dana die before our eyes, and we have no choice but to sit here and starve to death?
Law, calm down! You're not the only one who's worried here.
Right. Sorry.
It's still too early to give up. There has to be a way to get out of this.
Can't we use our sovereign powers?
Now what?
The starship, it's back online?
Nope.
No, this is different. Something is pulling our ship in towards it.
What is going on? Seriously? I can understand the red woman pushing us back. But what's with the flower? Okay, well we've been put that medic. Oh, excuse me. That Regulus. You know, Regulus. Okay.
We managed to get moving, but where are we?
It looks like Lenegis in here.
Do you think we might run into more Renans here? Or those red women?
Perhaps. Someone brought us here. The question is, who?
We haven't been ambushed, so that probably means they aren't hostile. Still, why would anyone want to bring us here?
Hey, Shion!
If they wanted to attack us, they could have done so while we were back on the starship. We should see where this path takes us.
Got a point.
Shion, just in the nick of time. Here, lend me a hand while I...
No!
What the... Oh, right. The thorns. My bad.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I overreacted.
Again, Law? Can't you even go a minute without putting your foot in your mouth?
Seriously, it's
sorry,
fine.
Mom.
I'd rather that than people feeling like they're walking on eggshells around me. Besides, I'm the one who should be vigilant about not touching you guys, not the other way around.
Actually, I've been meaning to ask. Not being able to touch people, does it ever get lonely sometimes?
I guess I never really thought about it in those terms. It was either accept it for what it was or come undone. Before long, it was just part of my everyday reality. I think I even forgot there was another way to live. Which isn't to say I didn't feel alone. I did. Always.
So numb to your reality, you couldn't even recognize it as loneliness? I don't know how you managed.
It's fine. I know I'm not alone anymore.
But I can't even touch you. No way of lending you a shoulder when you're down? Even Alphen.
I appreciate the concern. Until I get rid of these thorns, I guess I'll have to put up with it just a little longer. But not forever. Alphen promised me that. Maybe it'll be soon, maybe it won't be. But either way, the day will come. And I'll be ready when it does.
Aww.
Yeah, just hang in there. One day, we'll share a big warm hug. You'll see. I promise.
Aww. Oh god. More talking!
Boo! Ah! What the? Are you out of your mind? This isn't the time for games, Rinwell!
Oh, come on. How am I supposed to resist with you looking all jittery like that?
It's called experiencing feelings appropriate to the situation. You ought to try it sometime.
Yeah, but seeing you act all nervous, you're making me start to feel nervous too.
Aww.
Oh, sorry.
Staying alert is important, but too much caution can cloud your judgment. Try to strike a balance.
Yes, Mom. We can't go back, can we? Or can we? Yeah. We can't go back.
I still can't get over what we saw happening outside the starship.
Yeah, our planet's really not doing too hot right about now.
I've only ever seen Rena from the surface of Dana, so I figured it was just another round planet like ours. Still though, I never would have imagined Rena actually looked like that. And what's the deal with that giant flower coming out of it?
Beats me. I have absolutely no clue. It's so surreal. It looks like a broken egg or something.
Rena and Dana. We were taught that both worlds were spherical bodies that floated amongst the stars in the heavens. But to think that they lied to us not only about the Sovereign and the Crown contest, but also the form of our own planet.
Dohalim.
Okay, who's the wise guy that summoned us here? That beam of light joining Dana and Rena. It was the Renan side that it first came from, right?
That's what it looked like. And then the Danon side responded.
Perhaps it was some kind of directive from the Renan homeworld? To reawaken the Wedge and Lenegis?
Which would mean that whoever's behind all this is on Rena after all. But what are they after? Is it really worth going through all this trouble just to steal Dana's energy?
Try to stay calm. With so many factors we don't understand, dwelling on it won't get us anywhere. What is it?
No, it's just... Zephyr once told me the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
So much for me making progress, huh?
You made it this far, didn't you? You notice something, you change it. That's all anyone can do. But you can't stand still in the meantime.
It's like, can we actually carry on? Guess you're gonna go through the elevator. Like I said, it looks nice, this place, but I have no idea where we are.
This place looks a lot like that room we saw back in the Forbidden Zone.
Huh? What's that?
Okay.
It's one of those!
A red woman in disguise. Or is this their true form?
So it was a trap?
I don't think it's a trap.
It doesn't look like it can move. Tell me, are you the one who brought us here?
Yes.
That is correct. It is unusual for me to have unexpected guests these days.
It can talk.
What are you?
Hevrecht 35.
Hevrecht 35. Is that your name?
Correct.
What is this place? No, wait, before that, just what exactly are you? Are you somehow associated with the Red Women?
Before I answer, I have a question for you. How did you all arrive in this sector?
We did not come to this place by choice. Our ship was brought here against our will, by a group of Red Women who can shift into the same form as you.
In that case, we can assume my brethren who serve the Great Spirit have deemed you all to be a threat most grave.
What do you mean, serve? Are you saying there really is someone more powerful than the Red Women, pulling their strings?
What did you do to us?
I examined your bodies. You have not been harmed in any way. Identifiers detected. The Sovereign and Maiden are among you. However, you aren't under its control. I see why they viewed you as a danger now.
Okay.
Oh, goody. More riddles.
Yeah.
Do you think we can trust this thing?
Like it or not, it may be our best chance at a ticket out of here. Let's at least hear it out.
I shall now answer your questions. We are Helgenquil.
Helgenquil.
The Red Women you encountered previously are a form of disguise we employ from time to time, but not our true form.
Helgenquil?
You are on Dake Phasol, a celestial base which drifted here by accident. The will of Rena's Great Spirit no longer reaches us here. Since my sudden separation from the Great Spirit's influence, I have used any and all means to extend my lifespan. As I have done so, I have also set out to monitor and research Rena and Dana from this position.
A question. What is this Great Spirit of which you speak? Is it something that rules over your kind?
Correct. The Great Astral Spirit is a large mass of astral energy that fills all of Rena, one with its own will, a voice we cannot refuse.
A voice? Just like Dana.
The voice of the Great Spirit speaks to our hearts directly, and we have served it, without question, throughout the ages.
Does that mean it was controlling your minds? Wait a second. Could this Great Spirit be the true Sovereign of Rena?
The true ruler of Rena. It could be the same thing that's controlling Volron.
Wait, back up. You're telling us this Great Spirit of yours is the one that ordered you things to harvest the astral energy from Dana? I'm not sure I believe that.
Why not? We've already made contact with the will of Dana back in the Wedge, and in the Forbidden Zone on Lenegus. If Dana has a will of its own, I don't see why Rena wouldn't.
Yeah.
Maybe not, but think about what you're saying. If Dana has a will like Rena, then that would mean that we've been controlled by the voice of Dana this whole time, just like these things.
Dana's will hasn't been forcing us to do anything.
Yeah,
how do you know?
But
Let's assume that what Hevrecht 35 claims is true, and that we are indeed cut off from both planets. Even if we had previously been under the control of Dana's will, we would have noticed now that we are disconnected.
Your fear is not based in logic. The voice of Dana is much smaller and quieter compared to that of Rena's Great Spirit. Rena's astral energy is amassed at its center, whereas Dana's is shared among all its constituents.
Ah.
So thinly is that energy spread that it cannot coalesce and formulate a will. Our findings here indicate as much.
which explains why we felt its will where we did. The Wedge and Lenegis are where so much of that energy had been accumulated.
Yep.
The Great Spirit's desire is to consume all astral energy. And the pursuit of that desire is why you see Rena in its current state. As a result, it has turned its attention toward Dana.
Is that why the crown contest is necessary? So that the Great Spirit can feed off of Dana?
Yep.
Indeed. And it was to that end that we Helganquil devised the crown contest. Had the initial spirit channeling from 300 years ago succeeded, all of Dana's astral energy would have been seized.
But the ceremony failed. Lenegis was severely damaged, and you lost both the Sovereign and the Renasolma.
Correct. A change in plan was required to ensure the spirit channeling's success. However, recreating the Renis Alma required a vast amount of energy. That is why we turned to Dana.
So that was the real purpose behind the crown contest. An efficient means to harvest the necessary energy from Dana.
Yep.
This is all happening because of me.
Nevertheless, you still haven't answered one of Alphen's original questions. Just why have you brought us here to your base, Hevrecht 35?
First, it was to confirm the identities of you, my unexpected visitors. Second, it was to ascertain whether you would be likely to accept my request.
A request? But what could someone like you want us to...
I wish for you all to slay the Great Spirit.
I'm sorry, did you just ask us to kill your master?
Yes.
I did. It is in your best interest that you do so, I might add.
What makes you say that?
Lenegis has entered the final stage of the spirit channeling plan. As we speak, Dana's energy is being harvested en masse and transmitted to Rena.
Yep.
If nothing is done about the Great Spirit, it will not be long before all is lost.
You're saying the destruction we saw earlier is just the beginning? That...
We won't let that happen.
Why do you want us to kill the Great Spirit so badly? Is it to save our world? To free you, Helganquil, from under its control? Why?
No. My primary concern is validating our findings and analysis, which have taken many years to realize. As such, it is my desire to see how your actions impact and change these systems. However, I will not deny that vengeance also plays a part.
Vengeance? For what?
In spite of our long service to the Great Spirit, our species is on the brink of extinction.
You mean... you're dying?
At this stage, it would be wise for you to talk with the others. Ask them what you need to know. Once you have your answer, return to me. If you agree to help, I shall fix your ship.
Others? Just how many of you are there?
I am the only Helganquil who inhabits Dake Faisal.
Hey! Hey!
It's no use. I think it's done talking to us. Let's take a look around.
So, if he's the only Elfingate, then what else is here then?
You can't seriously be buying anything that creature told us, right? I mean, it's practically blackmailing us into doing its dirty work.
To be honest, the conversation went on for so long, I'm not sure I understood all of it. How about you, Dohalim? Were you able to follow it at all?
At the very least, everything it said about the Renan Great Spirit adds up. At the end of the day, this whole chain of events comes back to astral energy.
Yep.
That being said, had we not previously encountered the will of Dana, I suspect I would find its story much more difficult to believe.
The spirit of Rena wants to see Dana completely destroyed.
But why? Astral energy is supposed to be a force that creates and shapes the world.
It doesn't matter. I don't care if we're up against an entire world or what its game is. We're not going to let it destroy Dana.
Right.
There is one other thing that concerns me. How the Great Spirit, the Helganquil, and the Crown Contest are all part of a centuries-long plan is clear enough. But what about the Renans? How do they factor into all this?
Now that you mention it, and all that talk, Hevric 35 never even brought up the Renans once. And as for the Helganquil, we never did find out just what they are either.
Maybe it had a reason for keeping its silence. Or perhaps there's even more going on. Maybe the others will shed more light on the matter. Let's find out.
So where can we go now? Where do we go from here? Oh, I was right. Just checking. Just checking. Not as people?
Who are they?
What is it?
Oh, my apologies. It's just been so long since I've seen any humans from the outside world.
Are you a Renan?
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The Overseer told us to answer any questions you might have. Whatever you want to know, we'll tell you as much as we can. But be quick. Our subjects are undergoing a dramatic shift that we don't want to miss.
What a weird guy.
He must have meant Hevric 35 when he mentioned that Overseer.
And what was that about subjects? You don't think he meant Dana and Rena, do you?
There isn't anyone else we can talk to. I guess we should ask around here.
Okay, this is getting confusing as hell.
Have you guys lived up here in Deg Faisal with Hevric 35 for a long time?
Yes. I couldn't tell you off the top of my head just how long it's been, though. We regularly go into stasis, so our sense of time has gotten rather out of whack over the years.
Why are you all even here in the first place?
Originally, this station was where we worked to perform maintenance on Lenegis from the outside.
We heard that the facility ended up in its current location due to an accident.
Oh, it was terrible. Apparently there was some kind of accident, and when help never arrived, they presumed the entire facility had been destroyed.
I missed the
And you've been working for Hevric 35 ever since?
Well, at first we thought that there was nobody else inside the facility, but then it turned out the Overseer was there all along.
What do you mean?
The Helganquil have the technology to cloak themselves around us Renans. As long as they don't do anything obvious, a Renan won't see one, even if it's right in front of them.
Which would explain why Shion and I failed to notice the Red Women previously. Do they employ an astral art of some sort?
I haven't been able to scientifically confirm it for myself, but from what I understand, the type of cloaking they use is primarily achieved through mechanical means. In addition, they also used hypnosis devices and information control to get us to do what they wanted without being detected. It's a pretty sophisticated operation, especially since it avoids any unnecessary conflict.
Damn.
I have to imagine that's how Lenegis is still run.
But aren't the Helganquil themselves controlled by the Great Spirit? If so, why aren't Renans affected by it in the same way?
The Great Spirit's mind control only works on Helganquil, so they had to employ other means to manipulate us Renans.
You act like this didn't affect you personally. If I was you, I'd be mad as hell at their deceptions.
I mean, sure, I was surprised when I first found out about it, but it happened so long ago.
Hevrik 35 has clearly ceased concealing itself, though. Why is that?
Who can say? My guess is it just got bored, or maybe even a little lonely.
Don't you want to go back home to Rena or Lenegis? Our ship is going to be fixed pretty soon. You could ride with us.
No way. If we went back after knowing the truth, they'd either just brainwash us or purge us outright.
After all this time, there's nothing to be gained from going back. We've all agreed it'd be best to simply stay here and watch everything unfold instead.
Things are going just fine with the Overseer. Not that it'll be around much longer. It can't extend its life any further.
That said, I'm sure it's pleased to see the final stage of the plan before it passes on, though.
What?
Thank you for answering our questions.
Okay, I've got more questions now. That made no sense, but okay.
Can we talk to you for a few minutes?
Sure. It's going to be a while before the two planets undergo their next shift, so I can talk until then.
Please, tell us what you know about the Helganquil.
You mean the Overseer's species? I can't say I know much about them.
Well, for starters, where'd they come from?
Where else? From Rena, obviously.
From Rena? Wait, are you telling us those things live right alongside the Renans down there?
Of course not. There's really no such thing as Renans in the first place.
The what?
Excuse me?
Oh, I thought the Overseer explained everything.
Apparently not.
Please, tell us more.
Well, in a nutshell, the Renans were originally created from Danans by the Helganquil.
The what? Okay.
But if that's true, then that would mean there aren't any people on Rena.
Nope. There aren't. But there are Helganquil. That's what the name literally means in their language. People of Rena.
But what need could they possibly have to create a whole new race of people?
It was a way to bolster their dwindling workforce. I trust you're aware that the Helganquil are on the verge of extinction, yes? In essence, we were created to carry on their work for the Great Spirit after they all die. They gathered Danans who had an affinity for astral arts and proceeded from there. That's why we, as their descendants, can all cast arts, albeit to varying degrees.
Let me get this straight. Are you saying Renans were originally created from Danans that the Helganquil kidnapped?
Wait, that explains why almost nobody can use Astro Arts on Dana now.
Helganquil technology is truly amazing. The way they alter their bodies is far less invasive than your conventional surgeries. They have these tiny machines that are practically invisible, which they insert into their bodies and—
Enough! You needn't tell us anymore.
Wow.
How can you speak so calmly about all of this?
I guess I can see how, when viewed in a certain light, their ways may sound grotesque. But if you ask me, I think they ultimately did us a favor. They saved us from crawling the earth in ignorance. If it meant their hands had to get a little dirty in the process, then so be it. Anyway, the Helganquil are the real Renans. Personally, I don't think it's such a big deal. They're also mostly the ones behind what you see going on between the two planets. I think that covers just about everything worth knowing.
Wow.
I see. Thanks for filling us in.
Does he really expect us to believe that Renans never truly existed? How absurd.
Dohalim.
Just when I think we're getting to the bottom of it all, some new revelation smacks us in the face.
Yeah. That.
Then let's hope this is our last revelation for a while.
Okay.
Do you know anything about a spirit channeling plan?
If you mean the first plan from 300 years ago, then yes. Do you know what its main objective was?
Yes. It was to use Lenegis to siphon off Dana's astral energy and send it to Rena.
Exactly. However, there were two problems we had to consider. First was how to collect and send such a large quantity of astral energy without it becoming sentient. Second, we had to figure out how to convert Dana's energy so it would be compatible with Rena.
I take it the solutions to those problems were to use the wedge for the collection, and then the Sovereign and Maiden to convert the energy.
We have a winner! However, the first plan failed when the Sovereign was overwhelmed and became frenzied. The reason for that is because the Maiden lost control. I'm told he slaughtered many Renans in Helganquil that day.
I'm standing right here, dude.
For the next plan, we tried to recreate the Renis Alma, but we didn't have nearly enough of the other non-dark astral energy types. To amend that, we set our sights on Dana, and implemented a system whereby we could extract energy from it.
And the crown contest began.
Correct. Since the Maiden had been the failing point in the previous plan, it was decided to replace her role with machinery to avoid further mishaps. A new Sovereign had to be made as well. It was such tremendously difficult work, its success was dubious. But from the look of things, it would appear such worries were unfounded.
So that's what the purpose of that room we found in the Forbidden Zone was.
What about the flower that sprouted from Rena?
Flower? Oh, that thing. That's the physical manifestation of all the astral energy that's been harvested from Dana. As I'm sure you've noticed, it's quite a lot of energy. At this point, it's likely that it's become physically integrated with Rena's planetary structure.
Heverick 35 mentioned that the spirit channeling plan is entering its final stage. Is that true?
It is. I never thought I would live to see the day with my own eyes, and yet here we are. Are we done talking now? If it's all the same to you, I'd really rather not miss anything that's about to happen.
Asshole.
He talks like the potential end of the world is just another day on the job.
You've got to remember that these guys have been living alone up here for a long time. Who knows what shape their minds are in?
It feels like our whole world has been turned upside down. Is there
Maybe
anything we know that's still true at this point?
Seriously, I'm still trying to process the fact that we Renans were created by the Helganquil, let alone the Sovereign and Maiden stuff.
Let's take a moment to gather ourselves. I know all of this is a lot to believe and take in, but I think it's fair to say that we've found the answers we've been looking for. Does everyone agree?
Agreed. Though I'll admit that I never expected it to all boil down to Rena's great spirit being behind everything.
Everything that's happened, everything we've endured, it's all because of astral energy.
And to get that energy, the Great Spirit took control of the Helganquil. Then the Helganquil created the Renans, who went on to invade and rule over the Danans.
Plus, the reason the Great Spirit can't directly control the Renans as well is likely because they were originally Danans all along.
Either way, I think it's fair to say we've all had a lot to take in at once. Maybe too much, even. We should probably take it easy and rest our minds a bit. Why don't we all take some time to think things over, before we decide on our next move?
That's a good idea, Kisara. If the Renan Great Spirit really is behind all this, then we've got a really big fight ahead of us. Because it's not just Dana on the line, but Rena too. If we're going to do this, we need to be completely sure of ourselves. So let's go ahead and break off for now. We aren't in any immediate danger, so we should be okay. You sure you don't want to be alone right now?
I could ask you the same question.
I figured I'd get all my thinking in while walking around and checking up on everybody.
I'll go along with you. I'm interested to hear what's on everyone's minds too.
Sounds good. Let's go find them.
Everyone's just gone their own way, huh?
Yeah, let's hit up each spot.
It's west.
That turned out good, if I do say so myself.
Oh, you didn't burn it this time, did you?
Everything we thought we knew. It was all just a fabrication that the Red Women, no, that the Helganquil made up.
Right. Assuming we can believe anything that Hevrek 35 has told us, that is.
Well, if the names are anything to go by, it's possible the Helganquil could be behind the fruits of Helgen too.
But if Hevrek 35 was telling the truth, and this was all just one massive lie, does that mean everything we've done up until now has been pointless?
No, I don't think so. Or at least I hope not. I think it just means we've lost our foothold for now. That's all.
Really? Well then, if we've lost it, I guess we'll just have to find another. All of us together. And if we can't find one, then we'll make a new one. End of story.
Make one, huh? I see. Right then. Count me in.
Oh, it's you two. Does he seem like he's doing any better now?
He who? Oh, you mean Dohalim, don't you?
I know that we're all struggling to wrap our minds around it all, but he looked like he was taking it really hard earlier.
What do you think about everything we've learned? About the Renans, and the Great Spirit, and all that?
On some level, I'm not even really sure what to think, to be honest. I mean, the Great Spirit is like a huge natural disaster, but with a mind and will of its own. But if that thing's hellbent on trying to destroy our planet, then the only thing left for us to do is stop it. As for the Renans, I suppose my feelings on that are a bit more mixed.
How so?
Coexistence between Dahnans and Renans in Menancia is still a work in progress. In my case, I think that's partly because deep down, I was still on guard around Renans. So, to be told that they're like us, that they're actually just like us is, well, I guess it's a little deflating, to be honest.
You kept a pretty level head.
You mean about the Renans? At the end of the day, the Helganquil and the Great Spirit are the ones who are responsible. But at the same time, I realize that not every Dahnan is necessarily going to believe that either.
I know you're already aware of this, but the list of grievances the Dahnans have against the Renans is long, and understandably so. And if people then find out that they're all actually one and the same, yeah, I don't think they're going to take to it too kindly.
Even just among the Dahnans, I'm sure there'll be some who emerge with power and some who won't. I think if we can find a way to get rid of that imbalance, then we'll be in a truly good place.
Well, first we can try to figure out what to do about the existing conflicts we have.
Yeah. It'd be nice if one day people could learn to get past their hatred like Rinwell did.
It's no small task. We can't pretend like the past didn't happen and ask people to forget their very real pain and suffering.
Right. Everybody has their reasons for feeling the way that they do. But if we just keep yelling at each other about it, we'll never move on. In a worst-case scenario, it might lead to even more people getting killed.
And we all have to figure out how to meet halfway. Not just that, but to also embrace each other's pain, in a sense.
That's an interesting way of putting it.
It's true. Everybody has their own scars, their own trauma. The first step to healing those wounds is to put aside that hatred. It won't be achieved through reasoning, but I think it's a good first step, if nothing else. And now, I think I see a way to move forward. But to do that, first we need to make sure our planet isn't going to get wiped out.
Oh, that was a lot of talking.
You both seem awfully calm.
Only because after everything we've seen, we don't have the energy to keep being shocked.
How are you holding up, Rinwell? That whole talk about the Renans looked like it shook you up a bit.
Yeah. I get this sinking feeling whenever I remember how Dahnan mages like my family were persecuted and died out. And now, I finally know why that is. But I was thinking, if Renans end up living together with Dahnans again, then mages won't be such an unusual thing to see on Dana anymore, right? I know it's not as simple as all that, but Danans probably won't be so quick to let their guards down, and there might be Renans who still act superior because of their arts.
It wouldn't surprise me. 300 years of bad blood and prejudice isn't going to be an easy thing to overcome.
Nope.
Yeah, I know firsthand just how much hatred can take hold in your heart once you let it in. But even so, I was still able to change. And if I can change, so can anyone else. So I was thinking maybe, I don't know, I could use my position as both a Danan and a mage to help bring both sides together.
Rinwell.
That great spirit worries me too, though. Dana's will feels so warm and inviting. So why is Rena's will trying to destroy our entire planet?
Now that you mention it, Everett 35 and the other scientists here never really brought that up. Maybe they don't know either.
Maybe. But regardless, at the end of the day, Dana's still our home. There's no way we can let it be destroyed.
We won't. We'll keep it safe no matter what.
Oh.
I still can't believe it, man.
You're not the only one still trying to make sense of all this. Believe me.
Really? You've never struck me as the type of guy to get hung up on these sorts of things.
Did you forget what happened back in Thistleum? Once my memory started coming back to me, I felt completely and totally lost.
It was really that bad for you?
Yeah, it was. But thanks to Law and everybody else, I remembered that I still had things out there worth fighting for.
Man, I think you might be a better guy than me, Alphen. All I can remember thinking was, when's this guy gonna get his act together?
Law.
I was too worried about repeating the same mistakes I'd made back with my dad, and running away from the truth. That was no way to live. And I've tried to stay strong, my way. But all this talk about other races and the world ending, if I can be honest with you guys, it's just all too much for me to handle right now.
I know this is going to sound strange coming from me, but maybe the key is not to worry too much about the big stuff right now.
Oh?
I used to worry all the time about my thorns, for obvious reasons, but I never really opened up to anyone about them. And when I realized my visions pointed to a threat that was bigger than me, I didn't know what I should do or who to tell. But that's when I finally got it. You guys were all there for me, to teach me what's really important. I just had to open up and listen.
In other words, if you let the big picture stuff get you all muddled up inside, you'll begin to lose sight of what you really care about. Yeah, I think you're right.
The thing that's most important, what I really care about. All I want to do is protect the people that really matter to me, to fight for them. That's good enough, right?
Not everyone is strong enough to fight.
Huh?
It's something your dad told me once when he was still alive. Law, you know you're strong enough to fight, and you're strong enough to protect the people you care about. Forget all the big stuff going on. Just don't lose sight of what you want to protect in the first place. Sound good?
Yeah. Yeah, I think it does. It's like a big weight's been lifted off my shoulders. I'll fight to protect the people around me. Just like I always have. I think that's best.
Aww. Okay, Doberman. Let's see what you've got to say. I can imagine this is going to be very long.
I apologize for making you witness that.
You mean hearing the origins of the Renans?
Indeed. It's shocking to have so many things I thought to be indelible fade away in mere seconds.
Even I'm still not sure everything we've heard here is actually true.
Let's not delude ourselves. If what we've heard is a lie, it's a rather elaborate one. I can only imagine that you must have been constantly feeling like this, ever since your memory returned, Alphen. And you as well, Shion. About your thorns, and being a maiden.
That's just part of being alive, don't you think?
Well, to say the least. But enough about me. I'm not concerned for myself. What concerns me is all of the other Renans out there.
When you say the other Renans, you mean the ones that are living on Lenegis or Dana, right?
Correct. Even if we stop the Great Spirit from annihilating Dana, our problems will still remain. Putting aside the untold state that Rena may be in, if we do not truly belong there, we will have to think long and hard about where it is that we wish to return to.
So, I guess your only real choices at this point are to either stay on Lenegis or come down to Dana, huh? And right now, Lenegis might not even be a safe option.
And at the same time, Danans are hardly likely to embrace Renans with open arms. If the issue is forced, things could turn dire. There is, after all, 3 centuries worth of hatred to overcome between us. And the victims of our rule have absolutely every right to feel animosity towards us Renans. Our own circumstances as the aggressors are irrelevant.
I didn't expect the former Lord of Menancia to be so down about people reconciling.
Menancia's fate was a stroke of good luck. There had been backlash over how it had been ruled, and I was blessed to have sympathizers among my ranks. Still, even now, there remain ardent dissidents.
But things can still change if you have the right people to help lead the way. Isn't that what you hope to achieve on Lenegis, after this is all over?
Indeed. I have fully accepted the burden of that responsibility. In that regard, I remain determined. On that note, I have something of a favor to ask of you, Alphen.
Oh? What is it?
I wish for you to serve as a mediator so that the Renans can live on Dana peaceably. As the one and only Blazing Sword, I suspect the Danans may listen to what you have to say when problems arise.
That is true, yeah.
And I take it that you'll be the one to represent the Renans?
Yes. I realize that I'm asking quite a lot of you. However, the fact of the matter is that it will take time for Renans to re-enter Danan society without any bloodshed. That is why.
You're the same as ever, Dohalim.
Is it too much?
Nope.
No, relax. You get so tense and formal when you're asking for a favor. Listen, there's no need for that. We're friends.
You're too kind. I can see you were raised well.
That's some high praise, Alphen.
Then I'll ask once again, this time just as friends. Alphen, will you help me?
You don't even need to ask. Of course I will.
Thank you, my friend.
Aww.
Well, it sounds like everyone's learning from their past and using it to create a better future for everyone.
What about you, Shionne? How do you feel about the origin of the Renans?
To be honest, I'm not really all that shocked, actually.
Be right back, chat. And I'm back.
I mean, I might be a Renan in the literal sense, but I've never really felt like one of them. Right now, it's kind of a mystery.
How do you mean?
Because for a really, really long time, all I ever thought about was how I was going to die. Not if or when, but how. I thought I'd die alone. That fate had me in its steely grip. I would have never imagined that I'd be traveling with someone like you, fighting to save Rena and Dana. I mean, how could I have? It's been going on for 300 years. All this tragedy and destruction. When you consider the Helganquil's part in all this, it's been even longer than that. It was Naori's hope that somehow, someone in the future would be able to stop it, before it was too late. How it fell on us, of all people, to heed that call is a mystery.
I don't think Naori was hoping that we would just stop the world from getting destroyed. She considered me A Dahnan, as a real person. And she very much cherished her own people, too. I don't think she wanted the world to be saved, just so they could go back to hurting each other.
No, she wanted...
Maybe this is what she meant.
Huh?
When we were talking to Kisara earlier, about all that stuff like everyone's needing to meet halfway and embrace each other's pain and suffering. She said that the first step down that path was for each of us to put aside our own hatred. That means forgiving other people, even and especially before they forgive you.
Forgiving. So it goes both ways, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. I don't just mean forgiving things that happened in the past either. Conflicts will keep happening. If we have any hope of moving on and building a better future, we have to all learn to forgive each other.
You know, you're right. People can hurt one another without even meaning to. I know that better than most, thanks to these thorns.
It's not going to be easy getting past this pain. But if we can do it, I'm sure there'll come a time when we can all truly understand each other. I'm there with you, Shion. I too want to protect the world we live in, and all the people we care about. I think that's the very least I can do to repay Naori for everything that she did.
Yeah. I want a future that she would feel proud to live in, and I'm going to fight for it.
Whoa there, Savior Girl. We're here to save you too, you know.
Yes, I know. Don't worry, I haven't forgotten. I want to live, and that's the honest truth.
Aww. So we've all had our moments now.
Well, is everybody ready to do what needs to be done?
I am. There's a lot to think about, but at the end of the day, Dana's still in danger. I don't care who we're up against. We'll kick their ass.
What are your thoughts, Alphen? I want to know what's on your mind, too.
Like Law said, if we have to fight the Great Spirit on Rena, then so be it. It's trying to rob us of our entire world. And it's going to take not just our home, but all of existence along with it. That alone is enough to make it our enemy.
So let's fight it.
But it's not only that. One way or another, I think beating the Great Spirit is going to be tied to us saving Shion.
You're saying there's a chance?
You're referring to the vision of destruction we all saw in Lenegis, I take it?
Yeah. 3 centuries ago, the astral energy that appeared at the spirit channeling ceremony showed Naori that vision. And to hear Shion tell it, it's the same one that she sees from her own thorns as well.
Indeed. Shion's thorns are comprised of dark astral energy, the one type which we know is native only to Rena. And if Rena's great spirit is what's behind Dana's pending destruction, then...
Shion's thorns are the Great Spirit? It's not actually on Rena like we thought?
Nope.
We don't know anything for certain. At the very least, though, I think it's possible her thorns are a part of the Great Spirit.
While the main body resides in Rena.
Shion.
If these thorns really are a part of Rena's great spirit, I'm going to go over there and give it a piece of my mind and then some.
The question is, how do we confront it? Suffice it to say, that flower growing out of Rena is enormous, large enough to house the will of an entire planet. The Wedge and Lenegis were both hard enough for us to overcome in their own right. This is an altogether greater challenge for merely 6.
And we only know about the Thorns connection thanks to Naori.
Hevric 35 has been observing the Great Astral Spirit this whole time. It wouldn't ask us to fight it unless it has a plan of some sort. Let's go see what that is. Our mind.
So if the Sovereign and Maiden were originally boot-up programs for Lenegis, what about now?
Even with the Forbidden Zone in ruins and the Renis Alma stolen, Lenegis is functioning fine. If it needed us before, it doesn't appear to now.
First they lumber you with a position you never asked for, then you're discarded like you're nothing? Who the hell do they think they are?
More importantly, who do they think we are? We might not even factor into their list of concerns.
I just hope everyone on Lenegis is safe.
Worst comes to worst, Lenegis is equipped with a large number of starships the people can escape in. As long as the whole satellite doesn't suddenly explode or something, they should be fine.
Wait, explode?
In any case, if we're truly going to make a difference, it's on Rena we're needed, not Lenegis. The people there will be fine, I'm sure of it.
Right.
And so can we go back to... quickly heal ourselves. Because we just wasted a bit of power. So I like the fact there's a hint in Ultra. You know, I forgot where we gotta go. Enter level. Back to the plot.
Do you have your answer for me?
We want to ask something first. You're asking us to fight an entire planet. How exactly do you expect us to do that? You must have something up your sleeve, or else you wouldn't put us up to it.
The great astral spirit is an immense being, but its actual will does not run throughout its entire body. Rather, its will is derived from the core, which supports the rest of the body, and is where its strength is most densely concentrated. Therefore, if you destroy the core, the Great Spirit shall become unable to maintain sentience, and return to being ordinary astral energy.
And how are we supposed to destroy that core?
By using the Renis Alma. You will also need the assistance of both the Sovereign and the Maiden. They are our best tools for suppressing and controlling astral energy. Using their powers, the Maiden shall seal the great astral spirit within her body, and the Sovereign shall wield the power of the Renis Alma to destroy it.
Hold on. That sounds a lot like what Shion described before.
Yeah, killing herself to take out the thorns with her.
She was actually right all along.
By my calculations, your powers combined should be sufficient to destroy
That
the
means
great
that
astral
kills Shion.
spirit, and disperse its energy widely enough to make it difficult to reform.
What will happen to the Maiden once we manage to beat the great astral spirit?
Any matter contained within the field of destruction shall be erased.
So it really will kill me.
This method is the most simple one available to destroy the Great Spirit, and is therefore our most reliable option.
What are our other options?
There is little reason to consider alternative courses of action when the most optimal among them is so clear.
You don't get it. I promised Shion that she wouldn't die, that we'd save the world without needing to sacrifice her. We didn't fight this whole time just to give up on her at the very end. If there's any other way to take out the Great Spirit, I want to hear it.
This plan shall lead to the fewest losses in preserving your world. Abandoning it is irrational.
That's...
It is vital that you proceed with this plan. A part of Rena's great astral spirit already resides within her. 300 years ago, the Great Spirit descended upon Lenegis in an attempt to assume direct control of the spirit channeling ceremony. We have reason to believe the Great Spirit left part of itself behind, and that it now resides in the Maiden.
Which would make Alphen's earlier hypothesis correct.
That part inside the Maiden belongs to the core, and can be used by the great astral spirit to revive itself. So long as it remains, it will be all but impossible to fully eradicate the Great Spirit. That is why it is necessary for it to be vanquished only once it is whole. Without the Maiden's direct control over the Great Spirit, attacking it is futile, and will only serve to strengthen it.
No.
Damn. So there's nothing we can do.
Wait. Naori said that the Renis Alma can suppress the self-realization of astral energy, and that the thorns can be neutralized by placing them in it. If so, can't the same also be done to the Great Spirit, seeing as the thorns are simply part of it?
Well, can it?
It is true that the Renis Alma is capable of what you suggest, and could contain the great astral spirit.
Yes!
But...
However, doing so requires fine control on the level of the spirit channeling ceremony, considering that the Renis Alma was previously lost when that ceremony failed. I cannot allow it. Its uncertainty is simply too great.
What does that mean for us if you won't allow it?
Your starship will not be restored, and you will all be unable to leave here.
Why you?
Fine then. I'd rather stay here and rot than do it your way.
Alphen?
Whatever we do, if we mess up, Dana's screwed. The Great Spirit will destroy it. If you're fine letting that happen, and we have nothing to gain either way, then I'd rather do nothing. We want to stop Dana from getting destroyed. We want to save it. But not if it means having to sacrifice one of us in the process. If all you're gonna do is sit back and watch us where it's safe, then quit ordering us around and shut up!
Alphen.
Way to go, Alphen.
What you say is irrational. Be that as it may, I shall accede to your demand.
You'll agree?
I am an observer. The Sovereign, Maiden, and Renis Alma are my species' greatest achievement. I wish to see how well they work against the Great Spirit in light of our demise by its hands.
But what are we supposed to do about the Renis Alma? One of your buddies ran off with it back on Lenegis.
It is likely that the Renis Alma is with the Great Spirit, functioning as a catalyst for it to receive Dana's astral energy.
So our only option to retrieve it is to head straight for the Great Spirit and take it back?
Correct.
According to my observations, the astral energy is most densely concentrated in the center of Rena, where the Great Spirit's core is located.
So right in the middle of that giant flower, then.
I have one more question. You've said that Rena's great astral spirit is already integrated with the planet. What will happen to Rena once it vanishes?
Without the will of the Great Spirit, Rena is predicted to collapse. Even in such a scenario, the energy will disperse, and the Great Spirit will likely not reform.
So you're saying that even if we manage to beat the Great Spirit without destroying it, we'll still be in danger?
Likely, the collapse will occur in stages. It is recommended that you all escape before the final stage.
Man, I wish that thing would tell it to us straight for once.
Havrek 35 and the others have gotten used to hypothesizing from afar is all.
This is it.
fixed our starship. We're going to Rena.
Excellent.
But I want to make one thing clear. We're doing this for ourselves, to protect what matters to us. We're not doing it for your sake, or because you told us to. Remember that.
It matters little to me. The end result shall be the same. Repair work on your starship has commenced. You'll have to wait until it's finished.
Man,
the truth.
Is it too much to ask for Heverick 35 to talk like a normal person? I swear.
Is the Renis Alma really our only hope against the Great Spirit? There has to be another way, right?
Shion's Fire Master Core was able to suppress astral energy to prevent it from gaining sentience, right? Couldn't we make use of that somehow?
I'm not sure. In small doses, maybe. And with the amount of energy we're talking about here.
Back in Calaglia, the Blazing Sword was able to take in a whole spirit vessel's worth of energy. If it has the capacity to manage that, it can do this, right?
Except after it absorbed the energy, it ended up releasing it all moments later, remember? Let's not forget, it nearly killed you. Besides, this is the Great Spirit we're talking about, not a paltry vessel. Even if I could use the Master Core, your body wouldn't be able to take the strain of channeling that much energy.
Hevrecht 35 didn't mention it, and it did not seem the type to skimp on details. So assuming it's even possible, the chances are slim to none.
You're probably right.
Okay, let's rest, and then it's time to finish this. Give it the 2-hour mark, and we're gonna keep going because I think we're close to finishing this.
You still thinking about what the scientists told us? About where Renans really come from?
I am, but not for myself.
You're worried about the future of the Renan people.
The fact that our people have been the same this whole time will only give the Danans further reason to resent us.
But you still intend to confront this truth head-on, don't you?
Yep.
Well, I did declare that I would live my life for the living, and not the dead. Even as I dream of retirement, I shall remain dedicated to the cause.
I'm sure you'll do great.
Now that I think about it, I don't believe I've ever heard you criticize or reproach us Renans even once.
I'm no saint. I have skeletons in my closet too. There was definitely a time when I hated Renans for who they were. I hated them just for being Renan. But you changed that, Dohalim. You gave me an opportunity to see them in a different light. Thanks to your reforms, we were able to stand next to Renans not as slaves, but as equals for the first time in our lives. Of course, I'm sure there were some Renans who still hated us on the inside. But we knew that not all of you were like that. There were those of you who were good, and that was a start. When it comes down to it, Renans are just people. They can be good or bad, just like Danans.
That is, in essence, the heart of your approach, isn't it? That we're all people.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. When you can pull someone aside and talk to them one-on-one, then you have the chance to come to an understanding. But as soon as you stereotype, that chance goes away, and you stop thinking of them as people that you can relate to.
I understand what you're saying, but we're talking about massive numbers of Renans and Danans alike. Realistically speaking, surely they won't all be able to get along.
Even if we end up butting heads with one person, maybe we'll find better luck among their friends. If we can build a society that works like that, that'll be something worth nurturing and protecting.
So you wish for people to form real bonds and do away with the hierarchy outright? To deal with one another as humans, and nothing more? That's the ideal future you hope to see when this is all over?
Yes, I do. I think it would make for a fine tribute to my brother's legacy. Though, that said, I would be doing it for the people of the future first and foremost. Do you still plan to return to Lenegis when this is over?
Indeed I do. I don't know whether I'll be able to reside in Lenegis proper, however. My first order of business may be to find somewhere to live.
You'll always have a home in Menancia, you know.
As I shall ever keep in mind.
Well, if you ever need a helping hand, don't hesitate to come get me. I'll always be there for you, Doe.
Aww.
Did you just...
Never mind.
Never mind. Thank you, Kisara. I appreciate your patience as I work all this out.
Don't even mention it. And really, when you think about it, now that we know the two of us aren't so different after all, don't you think that brings down a barrier that used to be between us?
You know, I hadn't actually thought of it that way before. But I do like the sound of it.
Yeah, I think I do too.
Aww. They're getting closer! So that's them. That's their story coming to an end. Oh, here we go. Are they actually going to talk?
Hey, why'd you call me here? Was there something you wanted to talk about?
Well, if everything we've heard about the Great Spirit is true, then we're getting close to our final battle. So I wanted to apologize while I can.
Apologize? For what?
I was being real stupid before, about whether Dana's will had been controlling us and all that. I get why you're angry now. Anybody would be if something they trusted was being questioned. So, I'm sorry, Rinwell. Really. I should have kept my mouth shut.
No, Law. Honestly, I think you might have been onto something. Of course you were worried. Who wouldn't be if they found out there might be some invisible force pulling our strings this whole time?
But you really trust Dana's will, don't you? Is it because you can sense it a lot more than the rest of us? Because you can understand it?
Yeah, I think that might be part of it. But I think I also want to believe it's good.
Believe?
Remember how I used to really resent coming from a family of mages?
Yeah, of course. Because you were always on the run and had to live in hiding.
When we rescued Zephyr and I finally decided to come along with you all, something changed inside me. It was the first time I felt like my powers had any meaning, even if that meaning was only helping you guys fight. Then, when I felt Dana's will, I was overwhelmed by how vast and warm it was. It made me want to believe my powers were made to connect with it. It made me believe I had a bigger purpose.
So that's why you hope it doesn't turn out to be bad. You almost need it to be kind.
Yeah.
Well, alright. Then I promise I'll lay off bad-mouthing it.
You will?
There's no way for me to know for sure one way or the other, right? But you trust it, Rinwell, and that's enough for me. So I'll trust it because you do.
Aww.
Remember what I said about neither planet's great spirit reaching us here?
Yeah?
That's not quite true. I can feel just a little bit of Rena's inside you and everyone else.
You... what?
I sensed it when we first got here. It's a really small amount, so it doesn't feel like it has a will of its own. But I think that's how Dana's energy probably is too.
So you're saying there's a little bit of Dana's will inside each of us? In a way, doesn't that mean we're all Dana's will?
What?
Well, like you said, unless Dana's energy comes together, it has no will. So if we all have a little bit of Dana's astral energy inside us...
then we will share its will.
Heverick 35 might know the answer. But, you know what? I don't need to ask it. My will is my own. I fight for who I want to fight for. That's who I am now. Who I've become.
Bless him.
So thanks, Rinwell, for sharing that with me.
Ah,
Yeah?
To be honest, the only reason I was suspicious of Dana's will, well, I mean, it mostly was... I feel like you and I had grown apart lately, and I was worried it was because...
huh?
Never mind. Nothing, just forget
God.
about it.
Huh? No, what were you saying?
Saying? I don't remember saying
Come on.
anything.
Now you won't tell me what you were
No,
thinking?
that's not what I'm saying.
Then spit it out already.
Aww. Oh, bless him. Young wolf. Oh, bless him. Okay.
You sure you don't want to get some rest?
I was gonna say we study it.
I can't. I've got too much on my mind. Especially knowing how close our last battle is. How are you doing, Shion?
Same as you, still trying to absorb everything.
Remember when it was so simple? We were only fighting all the lords on Dana? All of that feels like a lifetime ago, doesn't it?
Ages and ages ago. Everything that's happened since we first met. So many fights, so much chaos, so many wonderful people.
If I hadn't run into you that day, well, I wouldn't have met all of you. I never would have held the blazing sword or looked for something more. I wouldn't have my memories back. I'd still be a faceless slave, like as not long dead.
Hey, Alphen. I want you to promise me something.
Yeah?
If we can't find the Renis Alma, there's something I want you to do.
Oh, here we go.
Like Hevrecht 35 said, the only way we can end the Great Spirit for good is to go after both the main body in Rena and the thorns in me. I need you to promise me, Alphen, that if for some reason we can't get the Renis Alma back, you'll use the Blazing Sword to destroy the Great Spirit, and me along with it.
I knew she was going to say that.
It's true the Blazing Sword may not have the strength of the Renis Alma. But it's taken us this far. It's slain lords and beasts. At the very least, it has to be worth a try.
You can't be serious. Have you forgotten everything
Listen,
that we've...
the Great Spirit isn't just our problem. It's a threat to our entire world. Renans and Danans alike. We don't know what's going to happen when we face it, but we need to be prepared for anything. We can't second-guess ourselves when the time comes. I promise you, I'm not planning on going anywhere. I'm prepared to fight with absolutely everything I've got. But if it comes down to it, I need you to be prepared too.
He doesn't want to say it.
Okay. But you should know that I'm not going to give up on you, Shion. I'm going to fight this until the very end. I hope you can forgive me for that.
Alphen. Okay, I understand. And I'll forgive you.
Thank you, Shion.
So it's a promise then?
Yeah, it's a promise.
I remember how I felt the first time you touched me. My thorns made any contact a mistake no one would ever make twice. After they'd seen what could happen, fear would always linger behind their eyes. In my entire life, I never had someone willingly reach out to me. But when you reached out to me and gently took my hand, you didn't react at all. It was so easy for you. I don't have words for the shock I felt in that moment.
That's because I couldn't feel pain back then.
I'm not talking about that one.
Even once you could, though, you still chose to keep reaching out to me. And when you did, I felt this warmth that I had never known before. But still, I hate having to see you suffer through it every time you do.
You won't have to worry about that for much longer.
You think so?
I do, because Shionne,
No. You can tell me once my thorns are gone. Okay?
Our little secret.
Yeah. Okay. Everybody get enough rest? We ready for this?
Yeah, we should probably get moving.
Agreed. Can't stand around waiting all day.
Our task is relatively straightforward. We need only descend down to Rena, defeat the Great Spirit, and restore stability to both worlds.
We're fighting for a new future for both Dana and Rena.
Right. We've come this far. We will save our worlds. That's a promise.
Then let's go, everybody. We've got one last wall to tear down.
Yep.
Repairs on your starship are complete. Everything is in working order.
Is that you, Hevrek 35? You can see us from where you are?
I can. I can see anywhere within the bounds of Dake Faisal.
Sounds like someone's a peeping Tom.
Maybe we should give Hevrek 35 a break. It has been stuck in this tiny facility for a very, very long time.
I have unlocked all functions on your starship. You can now make use of its warp drive.
Warp drive? Wait, you mean like what the Red Women used on us? What brought us here?
It's possible that the Red Women may have found a way to activate it on the starship. They are Helganquil, after all.
Using the warp drive, you should be able to breach Rena's atmosphere without being detected.
Wait, should?
You'll need to be careful. Due to the force field surrounding Rena, the ship will be unable to go any further than the surface of the planet.
So, once we reach the shell, it appears we'll have to infiltrate the core by foot. Understood.
We gotta go all the way down just walking?
Will all the Helganquil go back to normal once we defeat the Great Spirit? I have a strange feeling we're going to have to fight them before this is all over.
The extinction of my people is inevitable at this stage. As such, it would be illogical to risk the success of the mission in a vain attempt to save my kind.
We understand.
Can't that thing lighten up a bit? Everything it says seems to be about what's illogical.
Well, come on, Doe.
Hold up, did you just...
You heard the lady. Get going.
When Rail's like, back off!
What?
As Sovereign, your identification number indicates that you are well past your predicted life expectancy. Similarly, the Maiden lacks any identification number, as her function should have been rendered unnecessary. Despite this, the two of you continue to exist. Why?
Keep me alive.
We exist because others have entrusted this to us. Over the years, many people have come together and sworn to see this through to the end.
You mean it is because of multiple chance interactions? The likelihood of such events is statistically improbable. Why have you two continued to persist under these conditions?
It's hard to explain. To be honest, I don't think it's something an observer could understand. All right, time to get back on the Fall Knights.
Here we go. This is it, I think. The last dungeon. Take off to Rena. That's it now.
It would appear that our Helganquil host really has fulfilled its end of the bargain.
You know what that means. Time to go to Rena.
I guess this means we should give that warp drive a spin.
Spin it, spin. Anyway, the ship looks quite cool. Meanwhile, back at the plot. Okay. Here he is, back at the plot.
There's nothing here. This weird ocean we're surrounded by just stretches out everywhere. Is this really where the Helganquil come from?
I don't sense even a trace of astral energy. This world is dead.
Then this must be the Hollowing.
You mean to tell me this whole world, the entire ocean is that stuff?
Wow.
And it's covering everything. The entire planet.
This is what the Great Spirit does. After it depleted this planet of every last speck of astral energy, it went after Dana.
So arresting. This world of doom.
Back in its day, Rena was probably just as vibrant as Dana is. But after being robbed of its astral energy for so long, those days are gone and past. This is all that will remain.
So the Great Spirit took everything. It stole energy not just from living beings, but the land, the sea, everything.
And it bound the Helganquil in servitude, until their whole world was nothing but this. And by the looks of it, that's how it remains to this day. A world of death and emptiness.
With nothing left here to consume, the Great Spirit turned its sights on Dana, looking for another host.
Not today.
If we don't stop it, this is what Dana's going to look like?
Yep.
We can be sure that even these few remaining remnants of Renan life will not be spared in the end.
If the oblivion and darkness both Shion and Naori saw comes to pass, nothing will survive.
So let's do it then.
It looks like we can climb down from there. Let's take a look.
Destroyed remnants of Rena.
So this is Rena. This is where everything began. Yet
Oh, so much talking! Come on!
A hollowed ocean as far as the eye can see. What do you think would happen if we fell in?
What do you mean, what would happen? You'd drown, wouldn't you?
Come to think of it, I don't believe I've heard of someone ever trying. Perhaps you'd like the glory of being the first?
Nah, I'll pass.
This is essentially a world-sized Renan graveyard. Are you proposing to disturb the dead slumber just to satisfy your curiosity, Law?
No, because I said I passed.
Taking an interest is understandable, but let's not forget where we are. This place deserves our respect.
Looks like we're not going to be hearing the end of this one for a while.
You'd think I was already snorkeling in it or something.
Oh, poor War.
So the idea is to seal the Great Spirit inside the Renis Alma using the Sovereign and Maiden's power. But just how do we do that exactly?
I'm guessing it won't be as easy as holding a spirit channeling ceremony at our leisure.
I already had wielded astral energy once 3 centuries ago. As for suppressing her thorns, Shion's had a lifetime's experience. The problem isn't just our enemy's strength, it's that it's sentient too. And you can bet anything you like it's not going to just sit back and let us destroy it.
In other words, we need to find some way to weaken it in advance. The Great Spirit, that is.
Back when Shion's thorns flew out of control, we were able to deal with them directly. If this is their host, they should be even more corporeal here.
If that's the case, it should make them easier to attack at least. And if we can manage to divert enough energy away from the spirit's core, even temporarily,
we might just be able to weaken it enough to steal the Renis Alma, which we can then use to seal it away forever. It won't be easy, but it's our only shot. Time to buckle up.
Oh, come on, people. Can we just keep going?
Let's say, knock on wood, everything turns out for the best.
What'll the world be like? Is that what you're asking?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of this, do you really think everything will be that different?
A lot will have to change, that's for sure. The world will have to adjust to so
I'm just gonna
much.
sit back
My
then.
only worry is if those changes
Come
turn
on.
out to be merely skin deep.
what do you mean?
It's well and good putting an end to Renan rule. But if it just turns the tables, it's all for naught.
That's true. Just as bad if the Danans started pressing their own.
Renans, Danans, astral art users, mages. The world is full of labels used to divide and separate people.
If only we could see differences like that for what they are. No different to someone having a musical talent or being good with their hands. Not differences so much as characteristics.
It will take someone in power to set an example. But with time, people will follow. And then, perhaps one day...
There will no longer be any need for the example. It will have become second nature.
That's where we come in. We can set the example. Imagine it. A world where magic and astral arts are used to help people. Where that's the norm rather than the exception.
Yeah, you're right, Rinwell. Why wait for somebody else? We can show them ourselves.
Yay. Now can we actually carry on to fight? Yay! Thank you. Right, we got 3 question marks. Can't go that way. And we can't go that way. So we are going this way. Here we go. We're gonna play a bit longer so we can try and get this done tonight.
Looks like we've warped into that pit of astral energy.
Awesome. Or maybe
I
not.
wonder what Helganquil civilization was like at its zenith.
I can imagine that'd be something you'd take an interest in.
There's no question it must have been advanced, like none either world has ever
I
seen.
like the storytelling,
surely
but
stand to learn a
it's
thing or
so
two from
much at
such
the
a
moment
people.
that you just want to
I
do
get that
something
you're
other
itching
than
to delve into its
take
history,
a step and talk.
but we've got
take
bigger
a step
fish
and
to
talk.
fry right
take
now.
a step and talk.
Put a pin in it, and you can do all the research you want when you retire.
I can think of worse things than a retirement dedicated to research. As for whether Rena is amenable to an aging specimen...
It's a little early to be giving it serious thought just yet.
A man can dream, though. A man can dream.
Oh, we didn't say there's anything wrong with dreaming.
In your case, Dohalim, dreams have a habit of spiraling into something else.
You'll need to stay with us for now, though. You're too helpful to let retire.
Why do I feel this is less of a compliment and more of an ultimatum?
Just a friendly suggestion.
Oh, come on. Can we stop with the talking?
Hey! Hey, I just realized something!
Is this about dinner last night? I didn't realize those ingredients were off.
What? No! I mean, wait, you fed us rotten food?
Rinwell, the point.
Oh, yeah, right. So I was thinking about those armored soldiers we've seen. There are regular Renans inside them, right?
Yeah, they're designed to make whoever's wearing them stronger. At least, I think that's the idea.
Right. So it kind of begs the question then, why are they made so huge?
I don't know, makes them more intimidating, I guess? Or maybe all that tech wizardry inside takes up a lot of space.
You don't think it's weird how the armored soldiers are the exact same height as the Helganquil?
Can't say I'd ever noticed it till now. And?
Connect
the dots, Law!
They're
Okay,
not human.
let me get this straight. You think the armored suits might have originally been designed to allow Renans to work alongside the Helganquil?
Huh. But if that's true, what would that mean?
It would mean... just that, I guess. But still, don't you think it's kind of interesting?
No.
Not hugely. Hey, Kisara, well, I've got you. What's on tonight's menu? Because I was thinking, maybe meat?
Get him, Hootle.
Get him, Hootle!
Oh, what did I do?
Oh, now you want to listen. Keep pecking, Hootle!
Ow, ow, ow! Seriously, what the hell?
I hate all the talking because I want to carry on fighting. But there are some cutscenes that I absolutely do love, and I love moments like that. So it's a love-hate relationship I'm having at the moment.
You know, guys, when you think about it, we've taken out a lot of Zeugles. Like, a whole lot.
You can say that again. If one thing's for certain in this world, it's that wherever we go, we'll always end up bumping into them.
Isn't it weird that they're still so plentiful? You don't think the Renans have, like, a ranch where they breed them, do you?
Certainly in all of my years, I've never heard of them constructing such a massive facility on Dana, let alone up in Lenegis.
The only thing I can think of, then, is that the feral ones must be reproducing on their own.
There's also no organized effort on our part to hunt them down, so it's difficult to fully exterminate them.
Exterminate them? Whoa, don't you think that's maybe a little harsh?
What do you mean?
Zeugles originally used to be living creatures native to Dana and Rena, right? Being genetically modified isn't their fault.
You're right. Zeugles were only created because of us Renans. We altered the original creatures to suit our own ends.
First, people made Zeugles, and then we let them go. And now we're trying to kill them because they're a threat. They really have only seen the very worst, huh?
I hope we find a way to be able to live side by side with them one day.
It's a nice thought, but they attack towns and cities. What else are we supposed to do?
Aside from the strays that have gone wild, it's worth remembering that Renans are able to keep them somewhat under control.
If we had distinct territories that didn't overlap, that might reduce the danger they pose.
Well, I guess when you look at it that way, maybe people and Zeugles aren't so different after all.
Yay, we can actually carry on. Probably get more talking in a minute. Oh, yeah.
Helganquil!
Guess they don't need their Red Woman disguises anymore.
Wait, can you understand us?
It's no use. We're not going to get through to them.
So they really are being controlled. In that case, we've got no choice.
Yay, fighting! We can actually do something.
I knew there was something off here!
They're not pulling punches. We have no choice but to beat them at their own game.
Now let loose. Dragon Force!
Ah!
First aid!
Ready to go! There.
Try harder!
Where are you going? Far enough!
Glacial Spear! Pierce evil!
Take this! Dragon Form! Rising Wyvern! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
No further!
Searing
Get wet!
Lightning orb! Mesmer, not in your dreams! Annihilate lightning condemned! Air pressure!
Okay, these guys are. Ah!
Do it!
Like I said, they're quite tough.
Say no more.
Well done!
We only just killed the one. Damn.
Glacial spear! Illuminate the top!
I need to actually check my abilities after this.
A chain between heaven and earth. Not much longer to go.
Come on, one final push.
Let's do this together, Alphen.
Commander of Heaven,
Phoenix Cyclone! Illuminate the top!
they
Radiant
might fly away.
Now! Astral energy!
You're dead too.
Say no more.
Alphen.
I can't forgive them for what they've done, but I hate killing them. They don't even know why they're fighting. How does that even make them any different from the Dahnan slaves?
Perhaps. However, if we don't make a choice, the guilt of not doing anything will be that much worse.
Yeah, I know. I hate for it to be like this. But if it happens again, you won't find me hesitating to act.
I wonder if we're going...
Sorry. I knew I was going to sneeze at some point. Right.
And to get attacked again.
Oh, more talking,
I
man.
thought there'd be more dirt and rocks and stuff underneath the hollowed ocean, but it's all artificial.
I would imagine they're remnants left behind by the Helganquil, seeing as there's little actual land remaining.
It's incredible. Do you think it stretches all the way down to the center of the planet?
Hey, these
Oh,
guys
that
built
35
Lenegis,
minutes
remember?
of this extra
They probably
hour
did this
stream.
in a weekend.
It's just
If
been
they
nothing
had the
but
power to
talking.
create things like this, did they really only use those immense capabilities to serve the Great Spirit? Or rather, was that the only use the Great Spirit let them use their capabilities for? We haven't seen anyone here except Helganquil. Looks like this place really is their home planet.
The true citizens of Rena. What a shame that they have become nothing more than puppets to the Great Spirit. To
Don't
think
get me
of the
wrong,
promise their
I like the
accomplishments once
backstory.
held.
I like
They
the
had the
intel,
potential to be great indeed.
but it's not.
Do you
it's
think we could have got along with them?
on.
You know,
more,
if we had met under different
and
circumstances.
you don't feel like you're playing the game
like-
anymore.
Like all of us, you mean? I suppose it's difficult to say for sure. We don't even know if they would see us as being on an equal level with them or not.
I think we may have had the chance once, before the Renan Great Spirit came along and changed everything.
You and Alphen both share an optimism. A strong willingness to believe in hope.
Do you think that's foolish?
On the contrary, I should like to take a leaf from your book myself. In tragedy's aftermath, hope is all we have.
Just
I
look
give
at
up.
the size of
I
that
might as well
thing.
just keep pressing R1.
The Helganquil's technology certainly is impressive. And they don't seem to do things by halves either. In the past 300 years. Oh, even before that. Just how many people, Renan or Dahnan, do you think have ever seen this?
Regarding the past 3 centuries at least, I'd say there's a good chance that we're the first. Also, while I get that it's impressive and all, I'm just amazed you're still standing around gawping at it at a time like this. Sometimes I wonder about your priorities.
I can understand where he's coming from. More to the point, does anyone know where it leads?
What do you mean where it leads? To the center of the planet, of course.
And that doesn't strike you as sounding just a little bit, oh, I don't know, far? There has to be a quicker way to get there, right?
Yeah. With all this technology at their fingertips, it seems pretty unlikely that they'd make that kind of journey on foot. There must be some kind of device somewhere. Let's see if we can figure out how to use it.
Borrow one of their contraptions? You're either brave or out of your mind.
If it works for them, there's no reason it wouldn't for us. Why make things harder for ourselves?
You know what he's like, Law. Once he gets an idea in his head, there's no talking him out of it.
Yeah, I can actually fight again. Then probably another cutscene with more story.
This one's tough, but we have no choice.
Let me know if you need healing.
Ignite! I shall ensure you
Now or never. Take this!
These ones can run rings around us. If it's in the sky, it's mine. Where are you going? Shining supernova!
I'm ready!
Astral
Kill them all!
Say no more!
Well done!
More calamity.
I'm not done!
No further.
Take this!
Healing circle!
Okay, here I go.
But don't get me wrong, I'm not saying this game is bad or anything, because it's not. It's absolutely amazing.
Careful not to overdo it.
God, there's so much talking at this last bit.
This calls for a celebratory drink.
Okay, so we got Max again. More talking
wonder
again.
how the
One
Renans
fight
avoided
talk.
being
One
mind
fight
controlled
talk.
like the
One fight
Helghan
talk.
Do you think it might have something to do with the fact that they were originally Danans?
I'd say it's likely, which is pretty ironic when you think about it.
Ironic?
The Renans have committed grave injustices against the Danans. But it was all of their own volition, not because they were being controlled. Now, it turns out they themselves were once Danans too.
Which must mean that the root of their evil isn't the Great Spirit, but something inherent in all of us. Our free will.
Now hang on, though. It was that same free will that allowed Xion and Dohalim to choose to fight alongside us. Without it, we wouldn't have been able to beat hatred and forge all those connections we've made. Free will is what saved us, right?
Law's entirely right. In any case, it certainly can't hurt to look on the bright side every now and then.
Yeah. Where there's hope, there's a way.
What'd he say?
He said, without a doubt.
Like I said, don't get me wrong, I do like the story bits because I like the intel of the characters. But this fight story every 2 seconds at this bit, especially with the R1 cutscenes, they're starting to get on my nerves. Because it's like, well, I want to carry on playing, but I've got to stop every 2 seconds.
Is this a dead end?
It appears this whole room functions as an elevator. That apparatus there is likely what's used to control it.
Okay, let's go. Carry on.
What the? Where did they come from?
Less worry, more action. Concentrate.
It's over!
Dragon Swarm! Here! I'm also good with airborne targets.
Dragon Swarm!
You got company!
Okay, here I go.
Pesky airborne scoundrels.
Sounds like a job for yours truly.
I will as soon as you're available to do it.
I can handle it.
You're far enough! Dragon Swarm!
Negative gate!
Blew away!
A wailing
This
fancy
time!
of
Be
lightning!
still! Fluid ignite!
In here! Flames!
Take this!
Let's get you all tucked away!
Dragon Swarm!
Take
this!
Here!
Blew away! I'll
Lightning orb!
smash you!
Radiant!
Come on!
Rotating pile! Rising Wyvern!
I'm on!
Soaring Light Spear!
Reinforcements?
I'm ready! Hit long!
Yes,
Look
good.
sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade! More Sukals?
Keep calm and take them down.
Bring you down! Air thrust!
Damn it, man. Oh, I can hit the bugger.
Eat dirt!
Freeze Lancer!
You're mine!
Not on my watch!
Blew away! Dragon Swarm! Thanks!
Raging Storm!
Luna Rondo!
Tunnel!
You're mine!
Nothing gets by me.
Here I go! One more! Reborn! Air thrust! A chain between heaven and earth!
Soaring light! Shattering
Attack time! Burning strike! Glacial steel! Here's evil!
Scream, bathe blood, rending you apart!
Holy glimmer! Holy
Take this!
Take this! Flooring coming!
You pick
Burn!
I'll smash you! Elusive deity! Rotating pile time! Flame inside me! Fury!
Burn again!
Magic resonate with here's evil! Do it! Let's get you up!
You're dead.
Now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you! This one's mine!
Gun him down, Shinon.
This one's mine! A wailing banshee! I never miss!
Rising Wyvern! Resonate with the earth!
Do it! Seal!
Look sharp!
Lightning Blade.
Oh, violent wind! Power now through all! Dragon's ready to go! In here! Lightning! Do it! Let's get your seal!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Illuminate
More?
the hear me! Claymore!
Like I said, we are just taking them all down.
Glacial spear! Hear me!
Rending you apart! Dragon's Blade! On your knees! Ready! Shattering the pieces! Attack time! Air pressure! Dragon's rending you apart! I'm ready! Chill!
And you're dead.
Now!
Consider yourself finished!
Now!
More? Begin!
Oh, I missed that chance.
This one's mine!
Resonate with the earth! Running slot!
Not much longer to go!
Come on! One final push!
Let's do this together,
Can't get out of
Alphen.
this.
You get the gist! Air thrust! Now!
Fang! Double leap! In an instant!
Dolby, come on.
More?
Lightning condemned! Thunderblade!
God, there's a lot of enemies there.
Elusive deity!
This one's mine! Holy will!
Running
A chain between heaven and earth! Let me show you what my art can do! Do it! This ends now!
Consider
We are just
yourself
making
more?
combos here.
Elusive deity!
Carve now through all!
I'm ready!
How's this?
On your knees!
Here!
That guy is keeping enemy at the moment.
It's over! Eternal devastation! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet
I thought I had a different one then. I thought I got it, but no! I just seem to have pulled it off once at the moment.
Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclone! Illuminate the dark! Here! Come forth! Only not in your dreams!
Armor won't save you! Raining Slash! Dragon Swarm! Double Demon Fang! Pressure! Be still! You apart! I'm ready!
And you're dead.
Now!
Consider yourself finished!
That was fun. I enjoyed that. Now you watch. 2 ways of talking.
I must keep striving.
You can ease off yourself.
Pot calls the kettle black.
Good advice for all of us, to be honest.
Even in such
Wow.
a harsh environment as this, there are still creatures here?
You think they're native to Rena? Or could they be
Google somehow.
Google somehow?
Whatever they are, they're dangerous. Watch yourselves around them. You think that pit stretches all the way to Rena's
Okay. So
core?
If that's true,
This one will be difficult to predict.
In a bind! Dragon Swarm!
Glacial spear! Here's the
You
evil!
picked the wrong fight!
Instinct to stay on the ground.
Double Demon Fang! Eternal Distance!
flying free! Why can't they just sit still?
Sia, can you take care of them?
No sooner said than done!
Dragon Swarm!
Primed and ready!
Ignite!
take them all down, shall we?
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you!
Soaring Light Spear! Rending
Now!
you apart!
This ends now!
Burn 'em.
Yourself finished!
You got company!
Ready and ready!
Where are you going?
Armor won't save you!
The lightning orb! Take it!
I'm ready! Kisara! Commander of Heaven! Phoenix Cyclone!
We are just absolutely breaking these monsters to hell.
Dragon Swarm! Rising Wyvern! I'm ready! Hold up! Is this as valuable as I think it is?
I'll take you
We've
all
got
off.
to keep fighting until we can.
Ignite!
Lionheart! Where are you going?
Allow me to help you.
Far enough! Radiant light! Searing flame!
Dragon
Don't
Shield from calamity. Burn!
Burn! All of you burn!
Pierce evil! Raging
Right, that's you dead.
Say no more. Got it.
Well done! Searing tempest! And now I will!
Can't get out of this. It's time.
Holy
Eternal
land!
devastation.
Between heaven and earth!
Galley.
You're dead.
Impact claw.
With this, I can become even stronger.
Question is, do we have to go down or? Right, let's check here first. Ooh, that looks tough. But let's do it. There's got to be something worth in there.
This one will be difficult to predict.
No further.
So weak.
Quit pushing yourself and get behind us.
I'll be right as rain in no time.
A spot of beast hunting, anyone?
Save you. Dragon swarm. Catapult. Raining blast. Damn it.
Let me bring you a
Come
impact.
face me.
I'll trip it up.
It's time to finish this!
Do it, Xion.
Die! Consuming wildfire!
A wall shield from calamity.
Dragon swarm. Barrier. Now I can let
Damn
loose.
it! I can handle it.
Now Xion's getting wet.
Healing
We seriously need to kill these guys off quick.
Take this.
So we can take on Big Boy.
Now! This one's got your name on it!
Oh, nice.
A merry distraction.
There's still more to go.
What would I do without you?
In a bind. You're mine. Blow away. You're mine. Soaring light spear.
Pierce evil!
On the way. Take this.
Benediction
Burn. Heal. Here I come. I'm ready. We did it. Here I hope that was improved.
No, I mean, you're even better than ever. I've never seen Xion actually look closer. A chain between heaven and earth. A wailing banshee of lightning. Annihilation.
You're mine.
Saving this one.
Struck. Blow away. Dragon swarm.
Denied!
I'll grind you into dust. Ignite.
Burn, Luffy, burn.
Grind you into dust.
A thrilling performance.
Here I come. Dragon swarm.
One more time.
Raining flash. Blow away.
It looks like you got this one covered. Divide.
Take this.
Flame. Air thrust. Reload.
Damn it, man.
Here, let me help.
Dragon swarm. Blow away. Captivity. Ignite.
Ooh, been running out of power.
Glacial spear!
Raining flash. Dragon swarm.
No dawn.
I'm not done. Eternal devastation.
Elusive
Soaring blast.
Denied! I'm out of ammo!
Magic is air.
Dragon swarm.
Pierce evil! Anything in armor is all mine!
No, too much. I haven't checked what level we are.
Heal my weary Time to let it rip. Dragon swarm. Kill.
You must take this. I'm merely doing what I can.
Glad you're on us. Can you take it? Coming through. Ha!
Nope, still the other one. Damn it.
Scarlet Inferno.
Shine. In a bind.
Illuminate the dark.
Blow
The
away.
news let the marksman handle this.
You're mine.
Chain between
You're
heaven and
finished.
earth.
Shine.
Radiant law.
Inside,
Look sharp.
just die.
Lightning Tiger Blade.
I can feel my precision improving.
And thus our
New armor for war.
Strength yet grows.
But I don't want to use all of our items, but oh crap, it's one of them. Oh, we can get past it. That we can.
These structures don't look like anything built by the Renans. Or even what we saw in the Forbidden Zone.
Perhaps this is the true architectural style of the Helganquil. Or perhaps the opposite, given their situation.
You mean like
Okay,
how
so,
some places
yeah,
favor
you have
building
to go.
stuff with stone while others rely on wood?
That's an interesting way of looking at it. I'll have to inquire with Hevrecht 35.
So we gotta go around
About
to
the same
I'll
time.
get it. Right, let's try and do that as much as fight, because we're gonna end up wasting all of our items and be stuck.
Brace yourself! This one's tough! No escape!
This debt shall not be forgotten.
I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction. Ready! Radiant
Dragon Swarm!
confiscated!
Shattering the pieces! Eat dirt!
Will this go?
Dragon Swarm!
Oh, these guys are tough, man.
Eagle Ray!
Struck! Thanks! Blow away! No escape!
You now!
How there's an option to go back to a place and get some items when we get to the last boss. Because if not, we are stuck.
It's time to finish
But we'll
this.
find out.
Die! Consuming wildfire!
Like I said, we'll get to the last boss hopefully tonight. If not, but we'll definitely finish this game tomorrow.
Astral energy!
Say no more! Got it!
Well done!
Here I come! Rising water!
Blood.
Ring for your spot!
Bloody howling!
So I still had room to grow.
Some of our
Those thorns.
I'm not letting them get in our way!
And thus,
double weapon gear for Inwell.
it's our strength.
Right. Use one of them to increase our magic. Yon, can you heal us all?
Strength yet grows.
And let's get ready to fight this bugger. But first things first, I'm grabbing this. There we go. We just sneak past.
This won't be easy. Don't be such a pessimist.
Armor won't save you!
Taking design into the
Flame inside me! You're
Careful!
That's one of them.
Magna Ray! Annihilation!
Ignite!
Being interrupted.
I'm not done! You're finished! Eternal devastation!
Denied!
Blow away! I'm not done!
Confiscated!
Lightning thrust! Elusive deity! I'll face you! Lightning
To be
storm!
honest, health is dropping like a over.
It's time to finish this! Die! Consuming wildfire!
Lunar corruption!
Blow away!
Annihilation!
You're mine!
Radiant here!
Be
Illuminate
still! Stone up!
Shattering
you
you pieces! Attack time! There! And again!
Eat dirt! Okay, here I go. Take this!
Glacial Spear!
No further! Dragon Swarm!
Sleep now!
Eternal Devastation!
Shine!
Strike!
Radiant light!
Force of regeneration!
Another incantation ruined.
Charging us!
That's what my shield's for. Get behind me.
Got
I
it!
must remember.
Leave it to
I
you!
forgot.
Primed and ready. Where are you going?
Rising Wyvern!
A banana! Let's go!
No!
Ah, I died! Damn it!
Don't leave me!
Try harder!
I don't even know the word defeat. I hope this medicine works as promised.
I'm not done! Blow away!
Poodle!
You're finished!
Mega Ray!
Shattering the pieces!
Attack time! By the power of
I'm not done!
Leon, can you... Actually, you heal me.
Heal my
I
weary
still got some fight left in me!
Astral Arts?
That's my cue!
Dragon Swarm! Shut him down!
A chain between heaven and earth!
Shine!
By the power
Force of regeneration! Regenerate! The flame inside me!
No, you don't.
Be let free!
Get away.
Thank you for the healing, Dohalim.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive.
Right. No one is dying on our watch.
This is bad, right?
Yes, Alpha!
No further.
Very bad!
I don't feel so good.
Let me help! First aid! Arctic waterfall!
Here I come! Strike! It's over! Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Get away.
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
We may be a touch beyond our...
Right. Leon, can you heal us?
depth.
We barely got a look at the thing.
Yeah, now we will. There we're there. Right, gonna try and avoid as much fight as possible can. Try and get down it. Normally I just go into battle, but we are going to get our asses handed to us. We're not prepared.
Brace yourself! This one's tough!
This one's mine!
Now I can let loose!
By the power of water!
By the power of Grayskull.
This one's all mine! You picked the wrong fight! Okay, here I go!
Go get him! Raging Cascade Lancer!
Damn it.
Here I come!
Bloody You got company!
Blow away! I'm not done! You're mine!
Right, you're dead.
Consider yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen!
It's time to end this battle!
You're dead.
Seismic rupture!
Now we killed him really quick, actually.
Was that a new skill I saw back there?
Indeed. Well, sort of. Actually, it's a family staple harkening back 8 generations.
Maybe you can just write all this down?
Okay, so teleporting. Oh, wow. Right, it's going to be a 4 here.
design of this equipment is really interesting.
You must really like it, Alphen.
And we're gonna have to fight that. Yay! You know what? I haven't actually checked on.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Spear.
Here's
Take this!
Healing circle. I think I'll pass on the landscape.
Thanks, Gianna.
Be careful not to overdo it.
I'm sorry. I'll do better.
Holy
Be
land.
still!
A chain between
Your
here
line.
goes.
Hurricane thrust!
Glacial spear.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Don't mind if I do.
Here I come!
I'm ready.
I can carve through
armor.
Denied.
Ha! Ignite!
Dragon
Where are you going?
Blah blah blah. Magic.
Do I be called?
Here I come!
Fluidity of your movement is simply incredible.
Lightning condemned.
Rising light!
Arts requires
Take it!
what my heart can do. Tempted swirl. Here comes.
Well, I was complaining about all the talking,
No further!
so you know.
Ha! You picked the wrong fight!
Magic is there.
Dragon
Here's
Swarm!
me now. This is something I
Dragon Swarm!
Resonate with the
Lightning
Water's
thrust!
a magic is there. In here.
Anything in armor is all mine. I can carve through armor.
Whoa. Hey, one at a time. Flame of fury.
Oh, stop its charge.
Thanks, Kisara.
Everlasting shock.
Confiscated.
Eagle ray.
Let me show you what my
You're
heart
mine!
Illuminate the
Struck!
storm. Come forth.
Leave the charges to me.
Hurricane thrust!
Thanks for the healing. Watch yourself, okay? Yeah, you too.
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
I'm never doing that second one again, am I? Ever.
Mine.
Ha! Burn!
Can't get out of this.
You're mine! No escape!
Outstanding form.
Dragon Swarm!
They
Stand between heaven and earth.
Soaring Light Spear! Struck! Tear!
Execution.
I
can carve through armor.
You're mine!
Mighty howling.
I'm not...
Gale force.
Raining Frost!
Illuminate the dark.
Oh, these guys take 2 months
I'm
to
ready!
kill.
Move out!
Astral energy.
Say no more!
You sure showed them.
All in a day's work.
We get past all. Please say we can. Yay! Thank you. I want to keep fighting. Oh, weary. Like I said, I don't mind fights. We have no choice but to fight, but we've got it. There's got to be a loophole too. Because we're going to end up wasting all of our items if this carries on. Then when we get to the boss, it's going to be like curtains.
That equipment should come in handy.
Wait, there's a boss there. Never saw it.
I've got a really bad feeling about this.
Dragon Swarm! You picked the wrong fight! Try harder!
2 heads? That's not even fair!
Double Demon Fang! Blew away!
Annihilation!
Ow.
Here it goes! Don't mind if I do!
Dragon Swarm!
In a bind.
Try harder!
I'm
away!
Where are you going?
Dragon Swarm!
Stars of magic.
Ready and raring!
Lunar corruption. This works.
Raining slide! Try harder! I'll blind you with carve through water!
Let me
Here
help.
I come!
First aid.
Ready!
Dance in the wind.
You're mine!
Again. Radiant
Okay.
Can't get out of this!
A whirling struggle.
Damn, I missed him.
Radiant light! Full
Lunar
regeneration! Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm! Lunar Rumble!
Power of water.
Catapult!
Amazing.
Here I come!
Lightning. Dance in the wind. Air thrust. Radiant Reload. Holy
Dragon Swarm!
Right, I think I'll be calling it a night after this. Try and get as far as we can, but yeah.
Illuminate the dark. Here I go.
Dragon Swarm!
A chain between heaven and earth.
Not today!
Mega ray. A whirling will bring you down. Not on my watch.
Eagle Ray!
Here I go.
Take this! Dragon Swarm! Rending you apart! Dazzle!
Gemini Aqua.
Bloody howling! No escape! Let me free you of your power!
Oh, it will.
Nothing gets by me. Denied.
Glacial Spear. Piercing
Dragon Swarm!
Freeze Lancer. You get
Ready
this.
and raring!
Air thrust.
Might with Dragon Blade!
Chain between heaven and earth.
Burn in hell!
Power of water. Here. Gemini Aqua.
Too much is going on, I can't. Ow!
Heal my wearied companion! Cure! Strike!
Hear me. Flame of
Blow
fury.
away! Resonate with
Lightning
the Dragon
Raging
Swarm!
Cascade. Here's evil.
Double Demon Fang!
Freeze Lancer. Saving this one.
Bloody howling! On your knees!
A whirling big
Air
ready.
pressure!
Where are you going?
Dragon
Sleep
Swarm!
now. Gravitating
Shine!
yield.
Radiant light!
Go daring
I need
Reload.
something.
Coming through!
Get wet.
Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Here's a healing arc. This ends now.
Right,
Consider
that's him
yourself
dead.
That's some power you wield.
You're the one who did the heavy lifting.
Oh, look, a giant bug. Yay. That's what we want to fight. Just after fighting another giant monster. Oh look, another giant monster blocking the way. Well, this place is just filled with giant monsters. Can't get past that until we fight them, so...
Predict. Benediction.
Not in your dreams.
Heal! Thanks! It can hide itself?
Lunar corruption.
Amazing! Shield from calamity! Eater!
Gemini Aqua.
Barrier!
Won't
Another
work.
incantation ruined.
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning orb. Healing circle.
Dragon Swarm!
Oh, that's
This
that.
ends now.
One of them
Consider
dead.
yourself finished!
There you go, Alphen.
It's time to end this battle!
I'm right beside you. Illuminate the
You're
dark.
mine!
Blood.
Here, let me
Blow
help.
away!
Bloody howling.
Lightning orb. Glacial spear. Dance in the wind. In here.
Dragon
Freeze
Swarm!
Lancer. I'll be saving this one.
The art of being interrupted.
Here I come!
Lightning condenser.
Dragon Swarm! I'm ready! Come up!
Astral energy.
Right, that's
Say
that
no
one
more.
dead, and now it's concentrating the big boy.
Beckon into everlasting darkness.
You're mine!
Up and at 'em. Let's go. Ow.
Strike!
Dance in the wind. In
Be
here.
still!
Glacial spear. Here's evil.
Shield, prepare to be Come and face me! I can carve through armor!
Feel.
Blow away! Burn in hell!
Taking too much
Take
damage.
this!
Take this!
Lunar corruption! Lightning orb!
Dragon
Right, this way is mine!
Regeneration! Rain slash!
Regenerate!
Don't
suffer in silence! Purge malevolence!
Dazzle!
Elevate waterfall! I'm here!
Take this!
Rise and shine!
Forgive me. You'll pay for that!
Not in your dreams!
Dragon Swarm!
Resurrection! Shield! Light astral energy! Bring you back from death abyss!
Dragon Swarm!
Came between heaven and earth!
Blow away!
A wailing banshee of lightning! And a close one! Ready to go! Sparta!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm gonna start doing this thing, you know.
Anything in armor is all thank you. I'll smash you!
Hurricane Thrust!
Like I said, we're getting close to the end. I promise. We've got to get there.
Hold nothing back! Take this! Be still! Now or never!
Leave the enemy cards to me!
Soaring Light Spear!
No complaints here!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Will this help?
Take this!
It's on!
Healing
You're mine!
energy!
Burn in hell!
Illuminate the dark! I owe you, Sion.
Healing is what my arts do best.
All mine can do is cause havoc and destruction.
Light.
Raining Slash!
I've used too
Thank
much.
you for the healing, Desmond.
Our comrades need our abilities to survive. A charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop it.
Can't do anything.
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Right, that's dead.
I
Something.
think I'm getting stronger.
And there we go. There's the healing item. Meaning whatever's behind door number 1 is a boss, and we're gonna leave it there. And that's going to be it for tonight, because I don't think I've got the energy to carry on. So, like I said, we'll call it a night there. And I think tomorrow will be the end of Tales of Arise. Story-wise, anyway. But we'll see. Until then, I will bid you farewell until tomorrow. So, come and catch me tomorrow for the end of this game. But before I leave, I am going to raid a good friend of mine. If he's on, that is. Okay, maybe not then. So we're just gonna go. We're gonna go sign off then. But until then, I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.